My friends, have you ever woken up and felt like your own body was a stranger? Stiff, aching, and with a fog clouding your mind that just won't seem to lift? Most people just brush it off as getting older. It's a belief we all share, isn't it? But as a doctor with over 30 years of experience, I have to tell you, that feeling is a warning sign. And here is the frightening part that no one ever talks about. How you react in those first 5 minutes after opening your eyes could silently decide whether your heart makes it through the morning. Shocking medical research has shown, time and time again, that the risk of a heart attack or a stroke is at its absolute peak in the first few hours of the day. But what if I told you there's a secret? A simple, gentle ritual that I've shared with my patients for years, one that could not only erase that terrible risk, but potentially add 30 more healthy, vibrant years to your life? This is not wishful thinking. This is something I have seen with my own eyes. I'll never forget my patient, John, a wonderful 72-year-old man who came to me, almost ready to give up hope. "Doc," he said, his voice heavy, "waking up is the hardest part of my day." He was terrified of becoming a burden. We worked together on the 5 simple steps I'm about to share with you. 6 months later, John walked back into my office with a sparkle in his eye. He wasn't just walking every morning. He was out on the lake, teaching his grandson how to fish. Those small changes gave him his life back. In this video, we won't just analyze the hidden dangers. I will guide you, step by step, on how to turn those first 5 minutes into the most powerful longevity medicine you can take. Everything I'm sharing is grounded in proven medical principles and my real-world experience. And please, make sure you watch until the very end. Because the 5th step I'll reveal is the one most people ignore, and it is the key to keeping your mind sharp as a tack, well into your 80s and beyond. Trust me, the information in that final section could truly be life-changing. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have faced this. If what I've just shared feels familiar, please comment with a simple yes below. It lets me know you understand, and it shows others they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, my friends. Now that we understand what's at stake, let's walk through this journey together. We will now explore the 5 sacred rituals of your morning. 5 simple, powerful changes that can profoundly alter the course of your health. Let's begin with ritual number 1. Hydration. What is the single most common, and perhaps most dangerous morning mistake I see in my practice? It's that immediate reach for a hot, steaming cup of coffee, often before your feet have even touched the floor. It feels comforting, it smells wonderful, and it seems like the perfect way to start the day. But in reality, for a body over 65, it can be like throwing gasoline on a hidden fire. Let me explain the science in a simple way. As you sleep for 6, 7, or 8 hours, you are in a constant state of losing water. Every breath you exhale carries moisture out of your body. You lose fluid through your skin. You wake up every single morning in a state of dehydration. This isn't a maybe. It is a physiological certainty. This dehydration causes your blood to thicken. Imagine it going from the consistency of water to something more like honey or syrup. Now, you introduce coffee. Coffee is a powerful diuretic, which is a medical term that simply means it makes you lose even more water. So, what happens? That already thick, syrupy blood becomes even thicker, putting an immense strain on your heart, which now has to pump with incredible force just to circulate it. Now, here is the critical part, the reason why this becomes so uniquely dangerous as we age. The core why. As the years go by, our body's natural thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive. A younger person feels thirsty and drinks water. But many older adults can be significantly dehydrated and not feel thirsty at all. You could be walking around with blood as thick as molasses, and your body might not even send you the signal to fix it. This is a silent, dangerous trap. The most common symptoms are often blamed on other things. That feeling of being lightheaded or dizzy when you first stand up. That sudden wave of brain fog that makes you feel unsteady. We so often say, "Oh, that's just my age." But more often than not, it is a direct, physical symptom of morning dehydration and poor circulation. Your brain is simply not getting the oxygen it needs because your heart is struggling. The scientific proof for this is overwhelming and has been for decades. Research published time and again by the American Heart Association confirms this undeniable link between morning dehydration and the terrifyingly high number of heart attacks and strokes that occur between 6 a.m. and noon. I once had a patient, a lovely woman named Mary, who for years suffered from debilitating morning headaches. She had seen specialists, tried different medications, and was convinced she had a chronic migraine condition. In our consultation, I learned about her morning routine, which always started with 2 strong cups of coffee. I asked her to make one small change. Just one. For 2 weeks, I wanted her to drink a glass of water before her coffee. Reluctantly, she agreed. When she returned, there were tears in her eyes. The headaches were gone for the first time in a decade. Her body wasn't crying out for pain medication. It was crying out for water. So, here is the simple, life-altering solution. Tonight, before you go to sleep, place a single glass of room-temperature water on your nightstand. A squeeze of lemon is wonderful if you have it, as it helps the liver. When you wake up, before your feet hit the floor, before you think about the day, sit up on the edge of your bed and slowly, mindfully, drink that entire glass of water. Feel it waking up your system gently. Feel it rehydrating your cells. This simple act thins your blood, eases the burden on your heart, and prepares your body for the day. You must stop attacking your body with caffeine first thing. You must begin by nourishing it. If you are committed to trying this one simple, powerful habit, I'd be so grateful if you would comment with the word hydrate below. It encourages all of us to take that first step together. Now that your body is properly hydrated and your heart is protected, let's move to the second ritual. This one addresses the stiffness and instability so many of us feel. This is ritual number 2, movement. The next common mistake I see is people launching themselves out of bed. The alarm goes off, and it's a rush, throwing back the covers, swinging the legs over, and standing up quickly to attack the day. Then, they're surprised when a wave of dizziness hits them, or they feel so unsteady they have to grab onto the nightstand to keep from falling. My friends, this is not a surprise. It is an entirely predictable outcome of ignoring how your body works. Here is the simple science. After hours of lying horizontally, your blood circulation has become sluggish. Much of your blood has pooled in your lower extremities due to gravity. Your joints, which haven't moved all night, are stiff. When you suddenly stand up, your heart has to frantically work to pump that pooled blood all the way up to your brain against gravity. For a moment, your brain experiences a temporary lack of oxygen, which is what causes that head rush, the dizziness, and the frightening loss of balance. A fall is the number 1 enemy of independence for anyone over 65. And this risky morning habit is a leading cause. The core why, the reason this becomes so much more pronounced with age, relates to our vestibular system. That's the intricate network in our inner ear responsible for balance. As we get older, this system naturally becomes a little less responsive. It needs a moment to calibrate. It needs a gentle, intentional wake-up call, not a sudden, jarring alarm. The symptoms of ignoring this are all too familiar. That stiff neck that makes it hard to turn your head. That deep, nagging ache in your lower back when you first get up. That feeling of being creaky and old. These are not just feelings. They are the direct result of stagnant circulation and joints that have been locked in place all night. The evidence supporting a change in this habit is irrefutable. A landmark study published in the prestigious New England Journal of Medicine found that simple, bedside movements performed immediately upon waking could reduce the risk of a morning fall by an astonishing 40% in adults over the age of 70. Think about that for a moment. Not a pill, not a surgery. Just 1 minute of intentional movement for a 40% increase in safety. I have had patients whose lives, and the lives of their families, were shattered by a simple morning fall that led to a broken hip. It is a tragedy because in so many cases, it is preventable. So, here is the incredibly simple, 1-minute solution. After you've had your water, remain seated on the edge of your bed with your feet flat on the floor. First, just take 1 deep, cleansing breath in, and let it out slowly. Now, gently lift your heels off the floor 10 times, rising onto the balls of your feet. This acts like a pump, immediately getting that pooled blood moving out of your legs. Next, gently roll your shoulders backward 5 times, then forward 5 times, loosening your upper back and neck. Finally, raise your arms slowly above your head as you inhale, and lower them as you exhale. That's it. You have reset your circulation. You have sent a safety signal to your brain. You have awakened your body with respect. Don't treat your body like a machine you can just switch on. Awaken it like a dear friend. Is there anyone here who knows that feeling of morning stiffness all too well? If this resonates with you, please take a moment and comment with the word awake. It helps us all to know we are in this together. We have hydrated our system and awakened our circulation. But now we must address the invisible enemy that begins its attack the moment we wake up. This brings us to the crucial third ritual, early nourishment. A very dangerous misconception I've seen grow in recent years is the idea of skipping breakfast, or waiting until noon to have your first meal, in the name of health trends like intermittent fasting. While these trends may have benefits for some, for an adult over 65, this can be a devastating mistake that accelerates weakness and frailty. Here's the science. When you wake up, your body has been in a fasting state for many hours. It is desperately searching for energy to start the day. If you do not provide an immediate source of fuel, particularly protein, your body turns to the most accessible source it has, your own muscle tissue. This process is called catabolism. Your body literally begins to break down, to eat its own muscles, to create energy. This silent, daily erosion of muscle mass is a condition known as sarcopenia, and it is the single greatest cause of lost strength, instability, and the inability to perform simple daily tasks as we age. And here is the core why it's so critical for us. As we get older, our body's ability to process and synthesize protein becomes less efficient. We can eat the same amount of protein as a 30-year-old, but our bodies will build less muscle from it. This means we cannot afford to waste a single opportunity to give our muscles what they need. The morning is a battleground. You either give your body the protein it needs to build and maintain, or it will cannibalize itself, leaving you weaker day by day, year by year. The symptoms are subtle at first, but you know them well. That feeling of weakness and fatigue that hits you mid-morning. The increasing difficulty you have opening a pickle jar or lifting a bag of groceries. That is not an inevitable part of aging. That is often a direct symptom of progressive muscle loss, a battle you are losing every morning that you skip a protein-rich breakfast. The scientific community is united on this. Major studies from the National Institute on Aging have shown that consuming between 20 and 25 grams of clean protein within the first hour of waking can significantly halt and even reverse age-related muscle loss. A patient of mine named Robert, a proud former Marine, was distraught. He told me, "Doc, I just feel weak. I'm fading." He was skipping breakfast, thinking it would help him lose a little weight. We made one change. We added a simple protein shake to his morning routine within 30 minutes of him waking up. 3 months later, he returned with a firm handshake and a proud smile. "I feel like myself again," he said. He wasn't fading. He was just starving his muscles. The solution doesn't require a huge, heavy breakfast. It just requires being strategic. It can be 2 or 3 hard-boiled eggs. It can be a simple cup of plain Greek yogurt, which is packed with protein. It can be a small scoop of protein powder mixed with a little water or milk. Think of it not as a meal, but as your morning medicine. It's a dose of strength that sets the tone for the entire day. Please, stop starving your strength. It is time to start feeding it. I'm truly curious, what is your go-to breakfast? Please share it in the comments below. And if you find this information valuable for protecting your strength, please comment with the word strength. All right. Your body is hydrated, your blood is flowing, and your muscles have been fed. Now, we must attend to the very framework that holds you up, your joints. This brings us to our fourth ritual, something far too often overlooked. This is mobility. So many of us think about exercise in terms of walking, swimming, or lifting weights. Those are all wonderful. But we forget about a more fundamental, more crucial first step, simply lubricating our joints for the day ahead. The common mistake is to just get up and go, forcing stiff, dry joints into action, causing friction, inflammation, and pain. Let me give you a simple analogy. Think of the synovial fluid in your joints, in your knees, hips, ankles, and shoulders, as the oil in your car's engine. After sitting still all night in the cold, the oil becomes thick and sluggish. If you were to start your car and immediately race the engine, you would cause immense damage. You have to let it warm up first. It is exactly the same with your body. That lubricating fluid in your joints thickens overnight. When you just get up and start walking or bending without a gentle warm-up, it causes the bone to grind on cartilage. This friction is a direct cause of inflammation and the worsening pain of arthritis. The core why this is so vital for us is that after a lifetime of use, our cartilage, the protective cushion in our joints, is naturally thinner than it used to be. We have less margin for error. We cannot afford to grind it away with careless morning habits. Gently warming up your joints each morning is not about building muscle. It is about preservation. It's about protecting the precious cartilage you still have. The symptoms of ignoring this are as clear as a bell. Do your knees ever crackle and pop when you stand up? Does your hip feel like it catches or locks up? That is the sound of dry joints crying out for lubrication. It is a request from your body to be treated with a little more care. I don't need to quote a complex study for this one. I can give you evidence from my own 2 eyes, from treating hundreds of patients over the years. I have seen more people find significant, lasting relief from chronic arthritis pain with a simple, 90-second morning mobility routine than from a bottle of expensive painkillers. A wonderful patient named Eleanor had to give up her passion for gardening because the pain in her knees made it impossible to kneel down. We didn't add a new medication. We simply added a gentle joint lubrication routine to her morning routine. A few months later, she brought me a beautiful tomato from her garden. "You gave me back my dirt," she said. "It was one of the best moments of my career." The solution is so simple and feels so good. Right after your 1-minute movement routine, while still sitting on the edge of your bed, simply begin by rotating your ankles. 10 times in one direction, 10 times in the other. Then, gently circle your knees. Now, stand up, holding onto something for balance, and do a few gentle torso twists from side to side. Finally, circle your wrists and roll your shoulders again. That's it. It takes less than 2 minutes. You are sending warm, lubricating fluid into every major joint, preparing them for a day of pain-free movement. Mobility is freedom. It is your independence. Please, protect it every single day. Wow! Isn't it amazing that something so simple can make such a profound difference? If you're surprised by this, take a second and comment with the word "wow" below. We have now cared for the body. But the most precious gift we have is a sharp, clear, and peaceful mind. This leads us to our final, and perhaps most sacred ritual of the morning. Ritual number 5. Mental clarity. The single greatest mistake we can make for our cognitive health in the morning is to immediately flood our brains with external noise. We wake up, and before our mind has even had a chance to come online, we grab the phone to check emails and news alerts. Or we turn on the television to be bombarded by the chaos and negativity of the world. We are essentially inviting stress and distraction into our minds before we've even had a chance to say good morning to ourselves. The science behind protecting our minds is fascinating. Our brains have an incredible ability called neuroplasticity, which means they can form new connections and pathways at any age. A simple practice of focused recall, especially in the morning, acts like a workout for the hippocampus, the part of your brain that is the control center for memory. Doing this consistently builds what neuroscientists call cognitive reserve. Think of it like a savings account for your brain. By making these small, daily deposits, you build a buffer that can help protect you against age-related memory decline and keep your mind resilient. Here is the core why this practice is absolutely essential for those of us in our retirement years. When we were working, our brains were constantly being challenged, solving problems, learning new tasks, and interacting with people. For many, retirement can lead to a state of mental coasting. The brain, like a muscle, will begin to weaken if it is not intentionally used. We must be proactive in creating small, daily challenges to keep ourselves fit and sharp. The symptoms of a mind that needs this attention are all too common. Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Do you find it harder to recall names or details? That feeling of a mind that is scattered or foggy isn't just a random occurrence. It's often a sign that your brain is craving a focused, gentle workout. Renowned neurologists have written extensively about the power of these simple mental exercises. They aren't magic, they are maintenance. I had a patient who was becoming very anxious about what she called her senior moments. She was terrified she was in the early stages of dementia. We introduced this 1-minute practice into her morning. She later told me it wasn't just about her memory improving slightly. It was about the sense of control. She said, "I'm starting the day by proving to myself that my mind is still working. It gives me confidence for the rest of the day." She took back the power from her fear. So, here is the simple 1-minute solution. After your mobility work, before you reach for any device, just sit quietly on the edge of your bed. Close your eyes. And try to remember your day yesterday, but in reverse. What was the last thing you did before getting into bed? What did you have for dinner? Who did you talk to in the afternoon? Don't strain yourself. Just gently try to pull up 1 or 2 details. What did it feel like to sit in your favorite chair? What color was the sky? This is not a test. It is an act of presence. It is a gentle awakening for your mind. You must claim the first minute of the day for yourself, before you give it away to the world. This is such a powerful habit. Please, comment with the word mind below if you believe that a clear, calm mind is one of the most valuable gifts in life. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to think back to the story I shared at the beginning. Remember John, that wonderful 72-year-old man who felt like he was fading away? Today, he is not just surviving, he is truly thriving. The last time I saw him, he told me something I'll never forget. He said, "Doc, this 5-minute ritual didn't just give me back my health. It gave me back my hope." He told me it serves as a daily reminder that every single day is a gift, and that he, and he alone, has the power to decide how he unwraps that gift. And that, my friends, is the core lesson for today. It's a beautifully simple one. Getting older is not something we can avoid. It's a part of life. But how we get older is absolutely a choice. You do not have to accept weakness, brain fog, and frailty as your destiny. You can choose strength. You can choose clarity. And you can choose independence. And that powerful choice begins with just 5 sacred minutes each morning. We've explored these 5 critical rituals that can truly transform our golden years. But as we all know, knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one very important question for you. And I ask that you take a moment to truly consider it. What is the one commitment you are making to yourself, for yourself, after watching this video? It doesn't have to be a monumental change. It can be as simple as, I will drink a glass of water before my coffee, or I will do my ankle rolls every morning. There is no commitment too small. Please, share your personal commitment in the comments section below. When you write it down, it becomes real. And when you share it, you inspire someone else in our community to take that first crucial step. Let's fill that space with hope and action. And if you found real value and true inspiration in our time together today, please show your support by giving this video a like. It's a small click for you, but it tells the algorithm that this message is important, helping it reach others who need to hear it. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of life-changing wisdom, please hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community of friends, all dedicated to living our best, healthiest lives, together. Finally, think of one person. Just one person in your life who you love, who needs to hear this message today. And please, share it with them. It might be the greatest gift you can give them. Thank you so much for your time and your trust. Take wonderful care of yourselves, and always remember, every sunrise is a new chance to choose strength. I'll see you in the next video.